is with us now. And Coach, you talked about it in practice, of course, leading up to this game, and we talked about it before the game as well. The execution level against a team like Notre Dame has to be so high. Your guys really gutted their way back into this game today. But is it fair to say that execution level let them down in the critical moments at times today?
Oh, I just think that the value of every possession is the same. It's easy to point out things down the stretch. The issue is we had every opportunity to quit, and we had every opportunity to win. And very rarely does that happen in the same game. And that speaks to, in my opinion, that speaks to the character of our guys. And like I told them, if that loss doesn't sting you really, really bad, then this is probably not the right occupation to try to be a part of. Notre Dame is not going to lose. You have to win. And we did not make enough winning plays, whether that be offensively or defensively, to beat a team with their experience and to beat a team, not only the experience of this season, but back-to-back Elite Eights and the evidence of what it takes to win on the road. So there's been eight road games, I think, as of this moment in time, counting Miami at Pitt today. 8 road games, 8 road wins. 8 road wins, and Notre Dame has 2 of them. And that's 2 out of 3, so there's 60. They have 3 of them. Yeah, so they have 3 of the 8. So that speaks to how tough they are.
When you were down 19 points, you cut it to 8 at the half.
Yep.
Did you feel like, gosh, this thing could be worse at some point?
I mean, we could have stopped at any point. Turned the ball over too much. Gave them way too many. I think they had 10 points in transition. We shot 100% on perfect shots. We shot 0% on bad shots. And trying to force it too much, too often on the first side, and you're not going to get anything accomplished in a good way on the first side. Got better as the half closed of getting it to the second side. But the margin is our OER was .97 and their OER was 1.02. So the margin in that game, as far as when the ball was live, was .05. We shot 56% from the free throw line, and again, it's all of those little things, and in actuality, it's not the little things; they're the biggest things.
You mentioned the single side drive and their help side defense. Did that give you guys trouble and seemingly get you into more of an individualistic state in the first half?
Yeah, I did need to drive it and then get it to the second side, and now it's a long closeout and then play from there. And in the second half, that's why we shot 52%, was because we were able to not take that first side and get it to the second side. So much better.
When there's some crazy things that happen, I mean, Seth gets hung up in the air, ends up being a turnover there, and there's nobody in the free throw line, and the ball gets clanked off by Farrell and goes through Med's fingertip. Just crazy stuff happens there.
Well, you got to that it's not crazy. It's a live ball, you know. So it's our ball, and I think it was a tie ball game when Seth turned it over. I think we were down 2 or 3 when Med didn't get the free throw rebound. I think we were down 2 when 5 didn't pick the ball up, and their 5 just took it from him.
Yeah.
The ball's live, so whether it's a free throw or a turnover, they're all turnovers in some sense. But when the ball's in play, the ball's in play.
Did Chris Clark take a step forward in terms of his leadership on this team today? Not just in his effort or his stats, but kind of being the focal point for you at times in the second half.
We need him to be the focal point. When the ball's in his hand, good things happen for us. Led our team in assists, and that's good. That's good. And a lot of times because of how teams guard him, they don't guard him as a shooter. And so the ball is going to end up to him in some form or another because of a pressure release. And then typically from there, good things happen. And so when teams play zone, I think that plays into our hands. When teams play man and they decide they're not going to guard him, or within a ball screen, his man is going to be the tag on the ball screen coverage, I think all of that plays to our hands because we want to get it to him, and then we'll get it to the second side.
Did you feel like you got enough paint touches? You mentioned the perfect shots and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't carry that when I come over here. I would say so. it would probably be 3 or 4 less than what we were averaging. I think we're averaging 57 through 4 games. I don't know if we got there 57 times, but I don't know what the accurate number is.
Well, I know they didn't leave with the result that they wanted, and as you said, this stings for everybody that it matters to, and I felt like you could feel that in the stands today as well, and that is part, of course, of what you're trying to build.
Well, we appreciate the people that came for the students, not to completely be back, and I know that it's alumni weekend and there's a lot of alums here, so we apologize, not for our effort, but we apologize for the result. But I thought the atmosphere was great. I thought when we were stinking it up in the first half, I thought they gave us some life as we were trying to make a run. And so it's just part of it, and I understand that I'm the spokesperson for that. And they beat us on toughness. And if that's the case, then I'm not tough enough. And so we need to find ways to understand how important every single thing is that we do.
You talked about that. There's no replacing the experience that they have, and they're, again, starting 2 seniors, 3 juniors. They don't beat themselves. And so, yeah, a good learning tape, I guess, in that regard.
Well, no matter how old you are, Coach Bray's significantly older than me. He's been a head coach twice as long. All of those things are out the door when the game is pure inside the lines. And so no matter how old you are, inside the lines, you have to be held accountable. And most of the time I'm inside the lines even though I'm not supposed to be. But we have to find ways to understand how monumental the value of every possession is, because we could have easily won in some respects. I don't know that easy would be the right word, but we could have easily stopped. We were down 9 with 11:35 to play, and I was telling our guys we got to outscore them 1 point a possession. And at 2:41 out of a timeout, Bibbs was going to the free throw line, and we were tied up. And so now, after all that we've been through 37 minutes and 19 seconds, it's even. It's a push. And so you can look at it from 2:41 on, and Seth's turnover and 5 not picking up the ball and Med not getting the free throw. Or you can look at the first, the first 2:41 we did fine. We were up 4. But look at the next 2 minutes and 41 segment. And it's just like what I talked to him about at shoot-around when you guys were here. It's the value of a possession, and you never know which one it is. So it makes all of them critical.